Welcome back. So in this video we are going to study some of those sidelined integrals, that is the algebraic and trigonometric integrals. You can't integrate by any of these three methods and they are not so simple. They require some special attention and some special manipulation. So let's start with algebraic integrals first. Algebraic integrals. Now what happens is that there are actually three major algebraic integrals of first form. They are these. So that means that we have a linear equation like we have in the front. So linear associated with a quadratic equation. So that's the thing. Now wherever you have a linear associated with a quadratic equation, the most beautiful thing is that what I can do is that I can represent the linear equation like this. I can represent px plus q like this: a times d by dx of ax square plus bx plus c, and then plus a constant, let's say b. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to compare the variables, I'm going to compare the values with x, and I'm going to compare values with our constant. So that means I'm going to get two equations in a and b, and I can solve them simultaneously. What helps us is that suppose if there is this quadratic equation is in the denominator and there is a quadratic, how can you solve this first part? This is the differential of quadratic which is available. So if you put quadratic is t, dt is available. That means it will be straight away log of quadratic. Similarly here, although the differential is not available, what you are going to do, you are going to make a whole square in the denominator. So this one is gone. You can do similar thing with this one as well. You will make a square root of under root of square in under root. So that means you will be either looking at sine inverse, or maybe you are going to do it by taking out the sine. Here also you are going to integrate square root of a square minus x square like of thing in this second part. First part is done. You don't need to worry about first part because this is t and this is dt. So these three can be solved like this for the second part. Okay. Moving on to some more algebraic integrals, there are two more types when the quadratic is associated with a quadratic. When quadratic is associated with quadratic, we need to add one more term to our previous solution. Okay, whatever our previous solution was there, that once we form differential and once with the constant, I need to associate one more term here. Look, what I am going to do is that to this px square, to this ax square plus bx plus c, I am going to write it like this: L times px square plus qx plus r plus m times d by dx of px square plus qx plus r, and then n. Now what happens is there, because there are three different things that we are manipulating, we are actually changing a, we are actually changing b, and we are actually changing c. So we need three equations. Okay, those three equations to find out these three variable L, m, n. First equation will come by comparing the coefficients of x square, second by comparing the coefficient of x, and third by comparing the constant term. If there is a quadratic multiplied or divide, if there is like this, divide by quadratic, divide by quadratic, divide by quadratic, okay, or whatever it say, this will cancel out the quadratic in the denominator because it's the quadratic itself, px square plus qx plus. If this is the quadratic, then this is its dt. So differential is available again LLT, and a constant value divided by quadratic. Again, I have told you in the previous case how to solve by making whole square in the denominator. So algebraic integrals are very easy. It says that if you know this concept. Let's take a question then. So this is it. That means what I'm going to do, if this is the question, I'm going to write 3x plus 2 like what? I'm going to write 3x plus 2 as d by dx of quadratic, that is 8x plus 4, and then plus a constant. Let's say, so this is, let's say, L times 8x plus 4 plus m. Okay, if I compare the coefficient, then what I'm going to get, 3 is equals to 8L. Okay, and then what the next thing that I'm going to get is 2 is equals to 4L plus m. So what is L? L is 3 by 8. Okay, so 2 is equals to 3 by 8, that means 3 by 2 plus m. So m is 1 by 2. You can see here that I got the values of L and m. So now my job is done. I am going to split it, integration of L times, what is L? 3 by 8 times 8x plus 4 divided by 4x square plus 4x plus 5 dot dx plus integral m. What is m? M is 1 by 2 times 1 upon, let me write it, quadratic dot dx. This is straight away integrable, so it will be 3 by 8 ln of 4x square plus 4x plus 5, and then there is a constant. So this one is integral. Let's say it's second integral. What is second? Second integral is actually nothing but 1 by 2 integral of 1 upon 4x square plus 4x plus 5. What is this? This is nothing but 1 by 2 integral 1 upon, what is this, 2x. So 2x plus 1, yeah, 2x plus 1 whole square, okay, plus 2 square, okay, so 4x square, yeah. So that means this is nothing but 1 by 2 into 1 upon a, that is a is 1 by 2 tan inverse x by a, that is 2x plus 1 divided by 2, but because there is a 2x, so we need to divide by 1 by 2 as well. So that means the second integral becomes actually 1 upon 8 tan inverse 2x plus 1 by 2. So that's how it's simple. Although it may seem you lengthy, but the concepts is easy, and if you will be constructive, you will get each and every step at by yourself, and that's how you can solve it. Let's move to the trigonometric integrals. Suppose that you have any integral of like this, so cos mx and cos nx, or sin mx or cos nx. The most thing to do here is to apply the formula of 2 cos a cos b. It will be in terms of cos and sine, okay, all these formulas, 2 cos a cos b, 2 sin a sin b, okay, and 2 sin a cos b. So if there is no 2, you can multiply, you can divide. All these three integrals will reduce in a single term of sine and single term of cos, okay. So what you can do is that now you can manipulate them, okay. So if it will come in terms of a and b and like this, okay. Similarly here 2 sin a cos b is also come like the same thing, sine of a plus b plus sine of a minus b, okay. So it will be like this. So if someone wants to integrate you, so write it like this, and then you can directly integrate sine, no matter whatever is inside. It's actually a loving integral, so you can do it, okay. So sin mx cos nx or these kind of integrals are very easy to solve. Let's look at when it's not multiple angle, but it's power raised to. So when sin x raised to m and cos x raised to n, few cases there are now different cases, okay. There are a few cases that forms here. One first case is when m is even and n is odd. For example, let's say I am writing it sin square x into cos x, or let's say sin to the power 4x and cos cube x. How I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to write it as sin 4x, and to this cos cube I'm going to write 1 minus sin square and then cos x. Now what has happened? Put sin x as t. Cos x dx dt is available, so it will become t to the power 4 and 1 minus t square dot dt. Open the bracket, it's directly integrable. So if m is even, n is odd, put sin x as t. Similarly, if m is odd and n is even, what you can do, again the same case, it will be same case, okay, even odd. If m is even and n is odd, what you can do is that you need to put cos x as t here. If both of them are odd, okay, if both of them are odd, then what are you going to do? You can put any of them as t. You can put any of them as t. What is this? Sin cube x. And what is this? Cos cube x dot dx. Put any of them as t. Let's say I put sin x as t. So cos x dx is available. So this will become sin cube x into 1 minus cos square x into cos x. So this will become t cube into, this is sin. T cube into 1 minus t square. So that means if it's even odd, you can put them many things. The problem comes when both of them are even. When both of them are even, you can't apply any of these things. You can't put any single sin or any single cos as t, because they both are even. Let's say that if I have sin square and cos square, I can't put any of them as t. If I put sin x as t, then although cos x dx is available, so it will become t square into square root of 1 minus t square. because cos x will be under root of 1 minus sine square, because one of the cos x is gone in the dt. Then it will be difficult. So how we can solve this when both of them are even? So that's a different case. Let's say here sine to the power 4x and cos to the power 4x. How I can solve? It's actually pretty easy if you know the thing. The thing is that always make the double angle formulas. Always make the double angle formulas. How? Let's see. Look how I am going to simplify it to a very easy function. This is the function. Write it like this: sin x into cos x to the power 4. What I am going to do? Multiply and divide by 2. So this will become sin 2x by 2 to the power 4. Now look what I am going to do. 1 upon 2 to the power 4 common. Sin to the power 4x. I am actually writing it as sin square square x. Okay. So sin square 2x square. 1 upon 2 to the power 4. Sin square 2x. I can write it in cos double angle formula. That would be 1 minus cos 2x is already there. So this will become double angle. That means 4x by 2 square. Okay. So this has become cos 4x. That means 1 upon 2 to the power 6. Now I have to open the bracket. 1 plus cos 4x square and then minus 2 cos 4x. To this cos square 4x, what I can do? 1 upon 2 to the power 6. 1 minus 2 cos 4x. Cos square 4x, I can write it as cos 8x and then plus 1 by 2. That's it. Now you can see that each and every term of the simplified form is integrable. What I am going to write, if I want to integrate this, then the integration will be 1 upon 2 to the power 6. Integral of 1 will be x minus 2. Integral of cos 4x will be sin 4x by 4. Okay, because d by dx of sin is cos. And then integral of cos 8x by 2 will be what? Plus integral of cos 8x, there is 1 by 2 outside. Integral of cos 8x is sin 8x by 8, and then there is a 1 by 2 as well, so that means x by 2. So you can combine this and this x. That means your final result will be 1 upon 2 to the power 6 3x by 2 minus sin 4x by 2 and then plus sin 8x by 16. So that's your final answer. You can see that how easy it was. You just need to convert the double angle, convert unless you reach to a form where all of them have eliminated their powers, and then you can integrate them directly. Integrals of trigonometric function. Now what happens that you may encounter any of these forms frequently. So 1 upon 1 plus sine square, or 1 upon a plus b cos square, or maybe a quadratic in sine and cos in the denominator, or maybe a whole square as well. It's the basic idea to solve this question is to make tan in the denominator and make sec square in the numerator, so that you can put tan st and sec square dx dt is available. How are we going to do this? It's simple. Multiply and divide by sec square to the numerator and denominator. You can do the same thing by multiplying denominator cos x square as well. For example, let me take this thing. Okay, if I multiply it with sec square, then what will happen? Sec square x. Always make tan in the denominator. Okay, so a sine square and sec square will become a tan square. Okay, and b will be gone because sec and cos are anti, and then c, one cos and one sec will be gone, and then this will be c tan. Now what I am going to do, this is a quadratic in tan, so what I am going to do is that I am going to make a whole square in the denominator. That is sec square x divided by, if I take a common, then let it be a tan x plus some k's whole square and then plus l. Now what I am going to do, I am going to put tan x plus ks as t, and dx is available. So that means this will now simply become d divided by a t square plus l integration, which we can easily do. So this is what happens with all these things. You need to make tan in the denominator, make sec square in the numerator, so that will already be there because we have multiplied and divided by sec square, okay, to the numerator as well as denominator. So that is what happens. So sec square will be there already because we have multiplied, and the one which you multiply in the denominator, that will make all the terms tan. Okay, if there is a sec square forming, then write it as 1 plus tan square. For example, if there would have been a 1 in the denominator, then there will be a sec square, so write it as 1 plus tan square. Convert all the terms to tan, and then you will be straight away to go. Another different types of integrals can be like this. there is no quadratic, but there is a linear equation. To these questions, what you need to do is that you need to convert sine and cos into tan half angle form and write tan x by 2 as t. Let's analyze this. So suppose that you have a question which says that 1 upon 2 plus 3 sine x plus 4 cos x. So what I am going to do is that tan half angle, I am going to write it like this: 1 upon 2 plus 3. What are you going to write sine x? It's 2 tan x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2. Then 4 cos x. What I am going to write? 1 minus tan square x by 2 divided by 1 plus tan square x by 2. So it's legal as well. Now I am going to take 1 plus tan square as common LCM and I am going to throw it upwards. So 1 plus tan square x by 2 comes in the numerator, twice plus 2 tan square x by 2 plus 6 tan x by 2, okay, and then plus 4 minus 4 tan square x by 2. 1 plus tan square x by 2 is actually sec square x by 2, and what you have got? It's 4 plus 2 6 plus 6 tan x by 2 minus 2 tan square x by 2. So obviously you can make a whole square here, and if you put tan x by 2 as t, so sec square x by 2 into 1 by 2 dot dx is dt. That means sec square x by 2 is actually 2 dt. So if you put this t, dt is available. Again, it's a whole square in the bottom. We can solve. So let's move to again one more question. What about what you are going to do if there are a linear in the numerator as well as a linear in the denominator in sine and cos? So remember, we did this question, quadratic divided by quadratic. It's the same form. What I'm going to do is to this L sine x plus m cos x, not to this, to this a sine x plus b cos x plus c. What I'm going to write? I'm going to write it like this. Let's say a times denominator plus b times d by dx of denominator and then plus c. Now what will happen? A times denominator divided by denominator, that will cancel out. It's a straight away integral of a. B times denominator dash divided by denominator. So if you put denominator as t, d dash is available. C times denominator, that's what we have just now solved. Okay, that's what I have solved. C times denominator, or a constant times denominator. How there are going to be three equations? There are going to be three equations. Once when you compare the coefficients of sin x, once when you compare the coefficients of cos x, once when you compare the coefficients of constant values. So compare the three equations, we will get three values. Put these values here in place of a, b and c, and you know how to integrate these three parts. Hi guys, so I hope that you have understood all the questions and all the things that I have told you. All these different types of algebraic and trigonometric integrals, again they are the special forms, so you need to remember them, and the best way to remember them is to solve as many questions as you can. I hope that you are keeping up the pace with me. Now here we end our theory part. In the next part, we are going to start with some of the JEE questions that have come in the previous years, and we'll see how we can solve them.